Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. So I'm going to do a video on Nocturne here. So I think Nocturne is doing well, and I think Nocturne always does well, but people really build him extremely strangely. I'm gonna maybe make like a whole video on why lethality items are so bad generally. But Nocturne is an auto attack based champion. It's not even a question. He gets attack speed on his W twice. He gets an attack speed scale with his passive, and nothing which, like, his only damaging ability is his Q, and his R, I suppose. And who's using Qs for that? I guess Q does do quite a bit of damage, but you mainly use it for the AD boost. Your W doesn't do any damage, and your E does AP damage. Your R and your Q are the only two abilities which do damage. So why are you building lethality? I don't understand why people build lethality on champs like Nocturne. However, we can deal with that in a minute, but never build lethality on Nocturne, please, I beg. It's so awful, it's unbelievable. You'll do so much less damage. You'll be stronger early game for like from minute, I don't know, maybe 10 to 17 at max, and then you're just permanently weaker unless you build from lethality into crit, and then you just have less item synergy. Never build lethality on Nocturne, it's so bad. Bruiser's fine, but crit's a bit better. Crit slash tank, or crit slash bruiser, I guess. So Nocturne also is a very interesting champion because he has two abilities which I guess you could say like pseudo channel, because his W gives him a shield for a certain period of time, and his E gives him a channel ability, but as soon as you click it on someone, it automatically goes back on cooldown even though it's channeling. Also, this ability is the longest hard CC in the game. I mean true hard CC. Morgana's route isn't really true hard CC because you can auto, you can use abilities as long as they're not movement abilities, so you can still fight during it. But with this ability you literally cannot fight if you get hit by it, and it lasts for 2.25 seconds at max rank. So I'm going to be going into how to build Nocturne now, and then we'll get into the runes after that. So, okay, quickly before that, Nocturne's probably the best bruiser in the game, and I don't really think it's close. And I know that might be like a crazy statement, but if you build Nocturne late game, you will never lose a 1v1. It's almost impossible for you to lose a 1v1 with this champion. And I'll show you why with this build, why it's almost impossible. So Kraken Slayer is a fairly standard item, and it works very well with high attack speed, which Nocturne has because of his W passive, making you a monster when it comes to 1v1s, and also giving you good synergy with your passive and with Navori. So Navori and Phantom Dancer is the second item combination which you want to go. So Phantom Dancer first, then Navori. Fairly standard with these builds. You lot know how much I like these two items together. So these two work in tandem with one another, and they also work with Kraken Slayer and Nocturne's innate attack speed to make him one of the hardest champions to beat in a 1v1 fight. The main reason for this is because Nocturne's W and E both go on cooldown instantly after being activated, meaning if you are able to continuously auto attack the enemy champion, you are either going to be immune for most of the time because your spell shield's up, or they're going to be feared because Nocturne has the longest true hard CC ability in the game, which I spoke about earlier. Not to mention that with your E in fights, as long as you're able to stay alive for more than about 2 seconds, you will always win the 1v1 because they simply won't be able to do anything against you. Again, you have your spell shield and they're CC'd for 2.25 seconds. Not to mention that with this build, you are almost always able to permanently CC the enemy. The maximum amount of time, if you go a slightly awkward build, you're able to have it so that they are permanently CC'd, but that has some weird tech which I don't really like building because it's very awkward itemization. But if you do want to build it, it involves Anathema's Chains. So because you go Anathema's Chains, it increases the CC duration, and if you go Anathema's Chains along with a lot of attack speed items, then you are able to get it to the point where the other person who you're fighting against simply cannot get out of the CC loop, pretty much, and then they just die. And that's why you always win 1v1s. So after that you can go Wits End or Death's Dance. I'm not really too picky on these items. It's really whatever you want to go. However, it will influence how long you're able to CC the enemy, but obviously that's not the main aspect. You might want to go the item which decreases your ult cooldown, which I forget the name of now, the lethality item, because you want to ult a lot. You might want to go an item which gives you a shield, you might want to go an item which gives you more healing, all of this stuff, right? Which is fine, you know, it's up to you. There's only 5 items in this build and only 3 of them are really, really relevant. So after those 3 items, Kraken, Phantom Nuts and Navori, you can go pretty much wherever you want. However, there is a reason why I chose Wits and Death Dance. So Wits End is mainly for attack speed and MR, and Death Dance is mainly for armor and 1v1 potential. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And also, this is a bootless build. Nocturne does not need boots. You have enough movement speed from your Q and from your E passive, which gives you 90% movement speed. And you will pretty much permanently have up Q, so you can ride on that. If you hit somebody with it, you're pretty much always going to be able to catch them with or without boots, right? Or without boots, you'll pretty much always be able to catch them. So yeah, that's pretty much the build for that. And in terms of runes, you want to be going lethal tempo every time. You never want to go Conqueror, you never want to go anything other than lethal tempo. Lethal tempo synergizes very well with your passive, it synergizes very well with your W passive, it synergizes very well with this whole build. You really, really want attack speed on this build. You want attack speed and ability haste, but because you're going Navori, ability haste gives you, attack speed gives you ability haste. So yeah, that's how you generally want to build that champion. So thank you a lot for watching this video. I'm probably gonna have a video maybe on Garen. I didn't know Garen was such a complicated champion. You can pretty much have 100% tenacity on him depending on how you build it. But yeah, I'll maybe make a video, but I never play Garen, so I'm gonna have to play him a bit and see if the build is actually good. But yeah, I'll see you a lot in the next video. Have a good one.